What's going on, yo? It's Jay Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Tweeted out yesterday, I said, listen, man, I'm going to be doing a Mike P versus Rosenberg Raw review tomorrow. Today's tomorrow. But I got football. And after watching my Steelers get their ass kicked, my fantasy team get absolutely smoked, we are here for the Mike P versus Rosenberg review from Trenches 2. Now, not doing a full card recap for it, but to run through very, very quickly. Gwitty versus Kaboom was way too goddamn long, but I had Kaboom winning 3 over Gwitty. K Walker and Show Off was decent. On replay, I had K Walker second and third. His second might be round of the battle. I had Show Off in the first. As for the two old head matchups, kind of shocking results, man. P beat Reed clear in the second and the third. I think Reed, funny enough, because this has happened to people that battle Reed, I think he mailed it in, and was way better than he expected. And then Hollow Man beat Head Ice in a one-rounder, and he was kind of fire. He was kind of up to date, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's so funny when you see, there's a lot of vets that you feel like outdated wordplay or older battlers, and they'll be like, oh, well, they're vets, they're not supposed to. I just watched Hollow Man rap pretty up to date while still keeping his style. Just goes to show, you know what I'm saying, the adaptation's always there. There's always, you can always kind of conform and find your way into bridging old styles and keeping originality with some of the newer age stuff. But with all that being said, the main event was Mike P versus Rosenberg Raw. Very good, very contested battle that I wanted to do a little bit of a bar-for-bar breakdown on. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So the battle starts off being led off by Mike, and Mike's first round is really his best round of the battle, and it's just an explosive, great Mike P round. So if you're a Mike P fan that's going in this battle, you want to see Mike make a statement in this one. This is definitely the type of round you want to see him come out with to snatch the momentum. This is your second time having a problem with P-bar, which kind of goes into the Rosenberg trying to jump ship from RB to URO, right? Talking to P about it, which is an angle he's going to work a lot in this battle. Both of them had an angle that they, each separate angle that they worked for 3 rounds. The Just Jim's bar, solid. Gonna take it. So he takes the UR angle in depth and talks about how Rose is trying to go to URL while they're beefing with the biggest rapper in the city, which is easy. And then he said, wow, you gonna go to URL, man, take this walk with me. Obviously, with Rose being big and media now, take this walk with me is kind of his catchphrase for in all of his blogs and whatnot, as well as something he uses in battles. So that humongous haymaker, I can't overstate how big the haymaker was. From there, the Mariah Mills bar was cool. The search parties left no stone unturned. Fire. That was crazy. The way he set it up, it would add another layer of cleverness to it, but the bar was crazy. Even got to a point where he moonwalked in one part. He had as soon as they saw Mike, I started moonwalking, so a little performance in there. He's basically got the crowd eating out of the palm of his hands in his first. The Never Sold White, but I snorted it. That's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? That was funny as hell. Coke So White, it thinks I beat Geechee. Definitely, kind of funny. The energy's already adding up, so you can kind of slide a couple of those in there. So really, really good first from Mike. And then Rose's first is good. I don't want to hear about no Mike P, no iced tea, no lemonade. So funny little starter there. Lean with it, rock with it. Yup, and my white tea. Fire, you know what I'm saying? It gets a little bit of energy in there, a little bit of dancing with it early. The wife angle, immediately into the wife angle by Mike P. They say she played for the Saints. Why? She gives Superdome. It was okay, you know what I'm saying? And I'd say obviously when it comes to this angle, some people are super tired of it. Just the way I look at it, any angle is good if they do it great in that moment. I've seen a lot of angles be done bad. I've seen a lot of them be done great, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's done a million times, good rapping is good rapping. But that particular bar I didn't like too much. I'll slap the shit out of Avril Lavigne's brother. Cool. So pretty heavy on the jokes in this first. The white vinegar bar was dope, and then his best bar of the round, or really the bar that makes it a solid round, because otherwise not too big of a fan of this round, but the one that hits in the suburbs are overpriced. That was fire. I thought that was really, really fire, but that's really the only super fire bar of his first. So, you know what I'm saying, when it comes out to it, I got Mike P really 1-0 dominantly, you know what I'm saying, which is kind of what you want to see from him in this moment. And the second, the third, it does tell a little bit of a different tale from the humongous lead he took in the first round. So, going right into the second round, Mike goes into a little bit of a style breakdown. This dry ice bar, talk about like Rose is he covers up the bad wordplay and just punches with projection. And I thought he could have worked that a little longer. Then he gets to a Kiki Palmer bar. It was like, you want to talk about my wife? Where's your wife? Kiki Palmer. I'll Palmer with something burning. Kiki and Usher, I'll Palmer with something burning. So that was fire. And once again, starting off with a big bar in his second, but the rest of his second, not like the craziest about. They tried to make a meme of Mike and it became personal with me. That was fire. I don't even think I got the live appreciation, but the iceberg bar, the Coinstar bar, the KD ratio bar, and an angle about Rose kind of living off of Easy right now, saying Easy's the machine, you know what I'm saying, and kind of like making all of his moves based off Easy, but that's really it for the second, you know what I'm saying, coming off of a first that was extremely explosive. I really thought this second was like a drastic drop from his first, and going into Rose's second, like I said in the first round, didn't think he did too much, like he had too many peaks. Like I said, he had the hits in the suburb bar, I thought was crazy. And then the franchise boys bar, you know what I'm saying, was pretty dope. You perform with it, you're getting that beginning energy. His second is a night and day difference. He starts with the excuses for losing. Kind of how Mike started with like a mini breakdown to start his second. Rose starts with a mini breakdown to start his. How Mike always has excuses for losing. He's always trying to throw haymakers. He only landed 1 to 20. So he's going at his style a little bit, but from there he gets into you can learn Spanish, but it's like a Puerto Rican. They can tell when it ain't natural. I butchered that one up a little bit, but that bar was fire. You went from smack to the trenches, now you getting smacked in the trenches. Clever. Once again, works the angle about Mike P's wife. That bitch took so much dick. Now she's pigeon-toed. It's just better. It's better than the Superdome bar. I don't think either of them are the craziest in the world, but once you get some momentum, now things start to add up. Things that may have been shaky on their own, now you got the crowd, kind of with you, same way that Mike did in the first. If I was Calvin Cambridge, I wouldn't want to be like Mike. Fire. Your mixtape, All Ass, Ice Spice. The Yo Adrian bar, talk about Rocky. That was crazy. How he was talking about something being on games. You know how I know it's corny, Mike? Because you do it. So you're funny. He's giving you the real talk. He's giving you the creative punch. He's giving you the pure rap and really the straight disrespect. This is kind of the Rose you want to see more of after a slow start. The second is really like great Rose. The hit you in your ear, hit you so hard you're gonna think your eardrums came with speakers. By then I had thought that he had won the round already. And then the A-Rod, your girl always looking like for A-Rod because like she played with Jeter. So I already by the eardrums bar, I had really clearly given him the second. Adds a little bit of salt in the wound there. So far 2 rounds in, Mike clearly took the first, Rose clearly took the second, and that leaves everything on the third round. And the third round, which many people don't want to hear, because I feel like with battles, you want definitive, you know what I'm saying, like results. I think that's kind of the fun part of it. And that's always a fun part of what I try to bring on my channels. No matter how close, I really do try to give winner and loser. And in this one, I'm still going to do it. But the truth is, this third is 50-50-50. That's what it is. It is close, man. I said 54 times. You know what I meant, 50-50. But extremely, really preferential based. And we'll get into it. Mike starts out the third. Go to his casket, see Rose on the inside and put a Rose on the outside. The way he delivered it was cold. I like that. And then Mike got into some trap talk, and it was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? The Mumbai Connect sold separately was dope, but really what stands out is the last time the cops caught me, I had an onion in my sock, like a home remedy. Fire. Very, very fire. A lot of love. Even Rose couldn't help but show that love. And it's kind of crazy, right? Mike P getting into a little bit of trap talk there, but pulls it off great. Really doesn't sit on it too long either. After he lands that, gets right into really just writing and punching. The rock band scheme was good. Just a scheme. I think it was like 7, 8 different rock bands. He had Van Halen, Guns N' Roses, a bunch of different ones in there. That was dope. The Dominican blowout bar was pretty good. And then another pretty heavy bars he talked about. Once again, as I said, Rose is going to talk about Mike's wife all 3 rounds, and Mike is going to talk about the RBE URL situation for 3 rounds. And then he gets into it's like the parallel universe. You on stage with ARP screaming, "You believe?" Unbelievable. That was fire. But they kind of lose the steam there toward the end, which they both do at the end of their third. The bot lobby bar was cool. Kind of just ends it fairly abruptly, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't end it crazy strong, but like a solid but beatable third round. And then Rose goes, a breakdown, talk about Mike's career, like his gaming career. It's real to you, but really it's all just a simulation. Thought that was dope. In this culture, it ain't about if you white, if you nice, then you nice. Thought that was fire. Fire, it's kind of painting a bit of a picture, you know what I'm saying? But I like the opener so far, kind of walking him down. And this was his take this walk with me rounds. This is kind of the content you're expecting. The 7 to 8, you probably had a home in your name when you were like 7 or 8. Robberies on my sheet. I was facing 7 to 8. That was, but maybe my favorite bar of either of their thirds though was he said. But he was talking about kind of the way he grew up, and he said houses, animals in every house, but the one rule is you never pet the snake. I like that. I thought that was fire. From there, he gets into if I saw Mike in the hood, it would have been the opposite of white people cooking, open season. You know what I'm saying? I like to say that my personal people, my family, we season our food good. But I know how it go down. You know what I'm saying? Amongst my other Caucasians, man. So the open season bar, super fire as well. The audio feed bar to follow that. I'm trying to talk to Mike, but I can't get through to him. I thought that was dope. And then once again, same way that Mike worked angle all 3 rounds, Rose gets here and he said, and your girl's fucking everyone. You don't know who to fight, which was funny. I can't lie, you know what I'm saying? Even though we all know the angle becomes a huge exaggeration like anyone in battle rap, I thought Rose, some of these are funny bars off of it, right? He didn't take a round to work it specifically. I think that's where it went wrong for Sharon. I think that's where it went wrong for Nun as of the more recenter people that used the angle, even though that's last year. But I thought, just kind of sprinkling in here and there. People are going to talk about Mike forever. And it's not maybe going to hit like it used to, like super crazy hardcore, but you can still get a couple clever bars and super debatable third. And it really comes down, like I said, a preferential base. Do you prefer Mike's approaches? A little bit more in the scheming, a little bit more in the trap talk. Do you prefer Rose? Kind of the walk down approach. A little bit of real talk in there, right? But a little bit of angling, kind of unorthodox. And in my opinion, I ever so slightly edged Rose the 3rd round of this battle, giving it to him 2-1. And that is the full recap here. I know maybe giving it to Rose can shock some people. I think I'm seeing like maybe the consensus giving it to Mike for the most part. I haven't really gotten the rundown, man. I'm so tired. I'm gonna just tell you, I've been watching so much battle rap weekend after weekend. And 10 events, and can we stop with the 10 plus battle events? That's one thing I can really appreciate from this card. Short and sweet, 4 to 5 hour event. I would love if a lot of events can be that way. I know they can't all be that way, but it was refreshing. But a little bit burnt out. Say all that to say, I think I see a lot of people giving it to Mike. I have no issue with that. Mike, 1st and 3rd, is more than a viable, victory to give. In my opinion, it comes down to how you call the 3rd. Mike's 1st is great. Rose's 2nd is great. And the 3rd being so close and debatable kind of makes this a stock raiser for both. Main event of a card, a card that is going to have eyes on it with the way that we're at, with everything that Easy does and how people feel. Even though I don't think neither of the Trenches cards have been that crazy as like a full card, the results of it, they usually have a stick out battle that's good. Last card, you get Easy and Reed in a good main event, and then here you get Mike and Rose in a good main event. So shout out to the Trenches holding it down. At least those 1 battles where people are really keyed in are great. Pit style setting helps them as well, and with both of them having opponents on the horizon, Mike P is going to be on Blackout 8, as well as Rosenberg has Shayna Ashley coming up on the Chrome 23 event. So I can't wait to see what they do with this momentum. You guys let me know in the comments down below, who did you have winning the 3rd and really winning the battle for the most part? Like I said, no problem with having Mike. I ever so slightly, I'm like a preferential edge, gave Rose the 3rd, giving him the battle 2-1, 2nd and 3rd, but would love to hear y'all guys' opinion.